in camera limbo right now. I am like lost. This happens every so many years. I just get it in my mind. I've got to get a new camera. I hate my GH5. I don't like using it. I cannot handle the lack of autofocus. I thought I would be able to, but it just doesn't work for me. You know, the M50, I've never really expanded lenses for it. So I'm sort of in this like lost situation. You know, like I want to get some new gear, but there's no reason to invest in M series lenses, you know, for the M50. There's really none I even want anyway. The 11 to 22 would actually be good, but 11-22, it's like I don't know, it's just the aperture is horrible on that lens. It's like f5 or something. Just doesn't sound very good to me. So it's time for the M50 to go. It's time for the GH5 to go. And I feel like it's time to step into the future. So like the obvious choice seems like it'd be Sony, but I don't have any Sony, you know, I don't have lenses, and my lens collection is horrible too. The truth is that I'm a photography hobo. I've never really done what I should have done, which is invest in gear that lasts. I keep buying bodies. Like I bought a 5D Mark II for $500, and like right now I might be able to sell it for $300. It's mint condition, but still it's like I've gotten so little use out of that camera because I thought I would really like having full frame video, but the lack of autofocus has made it, you know, just like the GH5, if you're primarily recording yourself, the lack of autofocus is a struggle. So I've been like in this like insane camera research mode, and it's, do I want, you know, I think I want to stick with Canon because some of the, I mean, I can get an adapter. I think I've got to do a little more research on this, but I think the sweet spot right now is the EF to RF adapter. EF lenses, the price has just, you know, plummeted. Like I've always wanted to get a good 2870 f2.8, but I never bought one because the price was just like, I wasn't going to spend, I don't know, $1,000 on a lens. Like I don't, you know, as a hobbyist, as a non-professional, there's no reason for me to spend $1,000 on a lens. The Sigma 70-200 on here, and hoping today to come out and catch some wildlife, but this 200 is not really good enough for wildlife. Plus, it seems like when you're stomping around, oh, there's fishermen out here. I'll spy on them. The used RF mount cameras, especially the original R and RP, they seem to be holding their value in an unrealistic way, I think, compared to what's out there. But like they're still pretty expensive. The R, I cannot find one of them really for much less than $1,000, and the RP, kind of the same thing. So it doesn't make sense to buy a used camera like an RP when I can get an R8 for like, with a lens for like $1,200 something. Now the lens is gonna suck, but at least I would have an RF lens. So I like to buy used, but it doesn't make a lot of sense right now. Well, I ran into a guy and his dog Lady, an English setter. He said, take all the pictures of her you want, so gave me something to photograph out here today. A little more interesting. And since the deer and the birds aren't cooperating, and the 70-200 is actually just right for something like a dog that's kind of 20-30 feet away from you or closer, but still the autofocus was pretty much useless. I mean, I just Oh, a bunch of birds just flew out in the trail in front of me. That had been kind of cool. I don't know what they were, but wow. So I just like, I don't know if it's the adapter. Autofocus works pretty good with the native lenses. So I think the adapter, and it may be just this particular Sigma lens, you know, I feel like it does pretty much the same thing. There's a nice moth up there. I feel like it does pretty much the same thing with all the EF lenses I've tried it with, whether they be more modern STM lenses or whatever. They just, you know, it just focus hunts like crazy. You can try to autofocus lock button and it'll hold still, but then it's not tracking. And then if you let off, and I don't know, I don't get it. It just doesn't seem to work. And for video, it's mostly useless. So it's time for it to go. It's going away. I'm replacing it. But here's the question. Do I get an R8 or do I get an R6 used? Or do I just, I mean, like, I feel like there's no reason to buy an EF body. 6D Mark IIs are, you know, I've seen them all over the place. It's hard to get a good sense of prices on eBay too, because there's so many fake, oh, there was a frog. Could have got a good photo of him. There's so many fake ads, you know, on there right now. I just feel like right now, 1,000 bucks is going to be what a camera is going to cost. You know, it's if I want something that's markedly better, like the two low budget RF cameras, I don't think they're going to be that tremendously better than the M50. I'm sure they'll probably be better. You know, they're newer, but they're still in that same price range. So I wish somebody would tell me in the comments, tell me R8, R6 Mark II, R6, you know, R8's right there in my budget. If I sell a couple cameras, I've got the money to buy it saved up, easy. R6 Mark II, not really. Have to sell some blood or something too. Tell me in the comments, just quit. R8, R6, I think that's my price range. I know a lot of Sony users out there, and maybe Sony's the way to go, but that's the thing, like, I really don't have an EF glass investment. You know, I have this Sigma is like $500 I'm using today. It's the most expensive lens I think I've ever bought, really. Just kind of a shame. But I don't know. Okay, time to go.